Health, family. Greetings, blessings. Look, do you remember that we made a video about the Dead Sea and we said we were going to do a second part? Because we also had to see how the prophecy was being fulfilled. These days, today, right before our eyes, the biblical prophecy from the book of Ezekiel. Now we're heading toward the area where we're going to meet. For those seeing what we're doing for the first time, it's something that for the first time, according to what Spanish-speaking people in Israel told us. And I think that apparently on a global level, they're gonna go on a little boat for the first time in the waters of the Dead Sea. Maybe for many who live outside of Israel, it might seem like something normal to get on a little boat and be out on the water. That doesn't happen here in the Dead Sea, so that possibility doesn't exist. So this is a great opportunity and we want to share it with you. That means you will get on the little boat virtually together with us and we will experience what's inside. There are incredible secret places in that site that are not visible and that no one has seen before. So we will be the first to discover that and you will be witnesses to something incredible. So join us in this new experience, this adventure of floating directly in a boat on the waters of the Dead Sea. Get ready, make yourselves comfortable, and let's head out on this adventure. One of the things they didn't forget to tell us is that you have to come in here with a 4x4. The road from the main highway to the area where the water is located is quite far. Sorry. Thank God we ended up on this adventure. But you have to keep that in mind. The next time you come to visit and come around here, you have to look for a rental or something like a 4x4 so you can get into this place.
When we were getting into the small boat, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, there was a lot of excitement and anticipation, since I couldn't imagine in my mind what we were about to witness on this day. I didn't want to keep God's gift to myself. So I looked for witnesses, I asked some of my family to join me on this expedition, and of course, I also invite you to join us from afar to witness the evidence of what was written thousands of years ago in the scriptures. Meanwhile, Jackie, the boat's captain, spoke to us with great kindness and local knowledge. Among the many things he explained to us, there was something that caught my attention, since the message we've always received is that the Dead Sea was drying up. But when I listened carefully to Jackie telling us that the Dead Sea will not dry up because it will always be fed with water that has always been in the same area. Until then, Jackie intrigued us. He told us the Dead Sea evaporates rapidly, but that in turn is actually good, because due to its dryness, combined with the oxygen in the area, it causes sinkholes to start forming through a process called an aquifer. That is, the water here doesn't arrive in the traditional way, like we know as rain or from a river or a dam, but rather through the same process of drought. Jackie had all of our attention up to this point, until I interrupted him and asked what he thought about the prophecy that there would be fish in this water. He fell silent, answered with a smile, and told us to wait and see. I was thoroughly enjoying floating in this boat, and I would have loved to keep listening to the wisdom of this captain. But at the same time, I couldn't wait for it to arrive. The time comes to get off at a nearby coast, so that I can translate all the information we were being given to you.
We just got off this small boat, this little vessel that brought us here. And honestly, what Jackie was telling us while we were on the boat, he was giving us an incredible amount of information. They don't teach that in any tourism school or any school in Israel. And I think not even those who make documentary programs about the geography of this place teach it. We never hear it. He gave us some clues as to why this phenomenon of the Dead Sea is happening, why the water is disappearing. He told us that approximately 600 Olympic-sized swimming pools per day are being lost. That is, the water is leaving. Comparing by evaporation, 600 Olympic-sized swimming pools per day. I can't even grasp that number. He explained it in water volume, but just imagine 600 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Day. That's the amount of water the Dead Sea is losing. And how is it losing it? I said it was simply due to evaporation. The water evaporates. We were looking here and we saw that there's always kind of something on top, right? Like a mist? Like mist, exactly? That's exactly the water that's leaving. The temperature here is very high. Another thing he also told us is that this actually opened up and this water well was formed. Exactly, yes. And he also told us that the South African fracture, I mean, there was South Africa, exactly. It was divided, like they separated, and as the years went by, this whole issue with water started to develop, right? Besides that, he was also giving us a very interesting fact, saying that water has 27 minerals. That's why so many people are here. As I mentioned in the previous video, in episode 1, there are many people who have skin problems. And here they take advantage of all this, right? Because of the amount of minerals it has, it's
something unique.
This occurs globally, including in Israel. And all these 27 minerals, he was telling us that they're only in the water, not in the soil, right? Yes, they're directly in the water, and he also mentioned to us about the effect of winter and summer temperatures. There's something here that plays a big role. It's like they're connected, right? We know they're connected, but here they have an effect on the water to further protect these minerals. Now we're going to show you how he used to show us what summer was and what winter was. In the winter, hear the water. When there's rain and storms, the water comes and brings mud. That's the effect. Shatefo, not tenebrero. That is, it pushes everything that's in its path and brings the mud and puts that mud, puts it into the sea. But it's for a good purpose, because what it does is work together, prepare, and generate all this part of the 27 minerals with minerals. Exactly. They settle and they settle in layers. The two types of water don't mix. That part of the mud with the salt water. So, when you look at the forming sediments as shown in the photos, those lines we see, it's as if they were like an open coconut, like several open coconuts, and you see white, brown. That's exactly that sediment. The brown is from the mud, and the white is from the minerals. Honestly, that's incredible, because you think the mud is going to come and make everything dirty. I mean, it's going to ruin everything for us. Everything that looks beautiful, even the water is really clear, but actually, it's for a purpose. And it's so that the minerals can keep being preserved and can continue to be used for a good purpose. Ultimately, everything has to do with the topic of water. We're going to keep exploring. We're getting back on the boat because there's still so much more to learn here. So let's go. We hope you're really enjoying this.
These images are part of the first episode about the Dead Sea. To understand why everything looks so desolate, we need to learn a bit more about this place. First, let me tell you that the Dead Sea is actually a lake located in the Syrian African Rift, and in the middle, there is a line that marks the border between Israel and Jordan. The salt concentration in the Dead Sea is 34.2%. This high concentration is because the lake has no outlet anywhere.
In other words,
it's stagnant water. In addition, it is located in an area with a desert climate that is characterized by high evaporation rates. Until 2019, the Dead Sea was considered the lowest place on Earth. It lost this title after the discovery of the Denman Glacier, located in Antarctica at 3,500 meters below sea level. But since this place is covered in ice and can't be reached, it kept the title of the lowest place on Earth. Can you actually access it? And besides, it's a visible landmass. The origin of the sea's name comes from the scriptures, where it's sometimes referred to as the Eastern Araba Sea or the Salt Sea. The Dead Sea region is geologically active due to the convergence of two tectonic plates, the Arabian Plate and the Levantine Plate, which is part of the African Plate. The Dead Sea Valley sits on both plates. These move northward at a speed of about 5 millimeters per year, while the Levantine Plate to the west moves at about 1 millimeter per year. The difference in the movement of the plates creates a situation where earthquakes often occur in the area, thus causing the discovery of pathways where fresh water begins to flow toward the salty sea. As we said before, this sea has no other natural outlet except evaporation. The sea level is the result of a balance between the amount of water that enters and the amount of water that evaporates. Its evaporation is approximately 1.5 meters per year, and today the water level is at approximation 430 meters below sea level. The images you will see below are part of the landscape of the sea and its surroundings.
Look where I am. I'm here in the middle of the water. I feel like Jesus walking on the sea, or maybe like Peter trying to walk on the sea. Fortunately, I'm standing on a salt rock, not walking on water. This is incredible. And something else he was telling us is that there are factories here, factories from the Dead Sea area. They are used in water, but use very little. I thought they used much more, only 30 centimeters a year compared to daily evaporation losses. And he showed us something we're seeing here, how the water was disappearing each year. So every year, 1.5 meters of water is going down. Honestly, it's incredible to be in this place. I wish you could be here and experience what we're experiencing. But anyway, you'll have the chance soon. Let's keep exploring everything we have to discover here at this place. We're still here, continuing to explore the seaside area. And did you just arrive? You were wondering, and you saw Brugel somewhere around here, right? Do you remember Brugel? We were with the video earlier, and that's when the new captain of the ship showed up. So look, there you have him steering the little boat, the small one, here in the Dead Sea area. Keep going and experiencing everything here.